and I don't want to use flexi pipe, so I've been rattling my brains how to get a connection to fit it. But I paid 325 quid for this. I got my glue out. I love using this glue. They do come supplied with the heat pump. The first one on, always want to check your rubber seals down there to make sure that you haven't over tightened them. Some hard pipe 90s. I've got a little bit of pipe work left. Don't you just love a rubber? Run that down into the pump, because it's hotter than a snake's ass in a chicken shed here today. Into the inlet. This is the outlet. Electrics are all being wired in. What do we have here then, Mr. Whisperer? Let this bubble around in here with the pump turned off for 5 minutes. Right, so I just popped up here because I know I need... And you can get 5% off anything from their website. The Evolution Aqua one, it makes like a humming noise. This one here, there's no sound coming from it whatsoever. So, got me 2 lengths of pipe. Always nice to have a little nose. This smells... But that knocks socks off of what that is. The pump, I'm mega impressed with. Right then, I'm gonna have to get the Santex out because the old pipe work scratched up the wall a little bit. So those fittings that come with it, you can get a rubber boot to go straight on the end of them. Hello everyone, welcome back. James the Koi Whisperer, and today I'm gonna fit my heat pump. So I recently bought a new heat pump off UK Koi Supplies. I will leave the link down in the comment section. But I paid 325 quid for this, and I think it's an absolute bargain. But I've got to get it hooked up and get it running. That's the plan today. As you can see, it's got an inlet, got an outlet, and the pipe work that comes with it, I've been rattling my brains how I'm going to get it hooked up. So it come with these 2 fittings with a rubber gasket in there. The only downside, I think these fittings are designed for flexi pipe, and I don't want to use flexi pipe, so I've been rattling my brains how to get a connection to fit it. So don't you just love a rubber? Not gonna lie, I haven't used one in years. But that being said, what I found is I found some reducers, 1 to 1.5 inches, and these work the absolute hammer. So as you can see, these fit the absolute treat. A lovely tight seal inside of there means I can tighten this down. I was thinking about going the next size up, but it's pretty pointless really, because inside it's reduced anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Even though that's a bigger pipe, but you can see the diameter of that tube is the same size all the way through, so it doesn't really matter in effect. Normally what you would do is cut off the smaller section of pipe, and then automatically that there's a bigger valve of pipe work, if you know what I mean, for water flow to go through. But you can see the screw thread's restricted anyway, so it doesn't matter if I use that section or that section. It's the same length all the way through. I couldn't find a rubber boot to fit over this, and I can't find any pipe work, hard pipe to glue onto this. So what I've decided is straight onto that, screw this into the system, and then put a bend, a 90 bend on it from here. So what I'm planning to do, screw that on there like so, put a 90 on it, and then send it to where I need it to go. Also bought that pump off UK Koi Supplies, and it's still on offer of the week at the moment, 167 quid for a 15,000 litre pump. And I am thinking about upgrading this pump, because not that I've got a problem with this pump, but I got a problem with the red and the blue. It's got to be 2 reds or 2 blues, and I do like the look of this pump. It looks the absolute hammer. That's in the link as well. So if you're interested or you need a new pump, definitely check out my link, because you get a 5% discount on top of that price as well, and you'd get a 5% off of that as well. I paid full price for it, but you guys can get a bargain. Happy days. Let's get this hooked up and see what we look like to where we got to go, because I've got to get it all the way down to there, and I've got to hook that to that, that to that. Let's start with this. And there's probably loads of other ways I could do this, but I thought if I keep it straightforward as you like, if someone else buys the item as well, it makes it easy for them to copy what I'm doing, because I did look internally inside of that heat pump, apart from adapting the screw thread from the outside, and there's probably different fittings that you can use, but this was an idea that I sort of come up with, and I thought I'll give it a blast. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about, but I don't think it'll be a problem, and I'll keep an eye on it, obviously the hot water coming out of the system, the rubber boot might just need a bit of tightening up soon as it sort of gets going after a day or so. Do you know what I mean? Because the rubber boot, I don't think it will move or swell up, because it's not like boiling kettle water coming out of it. It's just a bit hotter than what it is going in. You know what I'm saying? In, out, shake it all about. Thank your mother for the rubber boot. So as you can see as well, it does come with a rubber seal, And these fittings, like I said, they do come supplied with the heat pump. So I'm just going to tighten these in, and you don't want to over tighten them. The rubber seal keeps it all bang on, like, you know, but that comes with it as well. Got the first one on, and what you want to do, you always want to check your rubber seals down there to make sure that you haven't over tightened them, because they'll misshape and the O-ring won't be an O-ring anymore. It will start coming out. So if you can see them looking like that, you ain't going to get no leaks. But warning, definitely check out how to do it before you install it. So I've also picked up a load of little bits and pieces, some rubber boot 90s, some hard pipe 90s. I've got a little bit of pipe work left, but I know I'm going to have to buy some more of that, but they didn't have any 1.5 inch in when I got all of this. So he's getting me some of that for tomorrow. One of them things, surprising how much pipe work you need and how many bends you need when you're doing a little project like this. But yeah, I've got loads of bits to play with. I've probably got a bit too much, but I'd rather have it than not have it, and then making sure that I can get the job done how I want. And I've picked up some rubber boots just to make it a bit easier on certain things, certain bends. And well, these here was a bit of an idea because it come with a rubber seal on the inside of these rubber boots, so you can convert the pipe down a bit smaller, but it still doesn't fit those pipes right there. So what the plan is to come out of there like that, nice and tight, and then that allows me now to go hard pipe off of it from here, and it means I can disconnect it from here whenever I choose. So got all the tools out, got me 90s. I'm decided to go hard pipe straight off of it because there's a bit of a tighter bend. Got a couple of little stubbies so I can adapt to it this way, whack this into the rubber boot. I got my glue out. I love using this glue, probably one of the best glues that I've ever found that I like using. Tape measure pen, let's get this bit glued up. I just got to sand down this edge, and then whack it together. And I find by just taking off the factory seal, I've never ever had a leak. Right, I'm gonna crack on with this pipe work because it's hotter than a snake's ass in a chicken shed here today. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna show you what it looks like when I got it all hooked up. Whew, it's warm. Right then, so I've ran out of fittings, but this is where we're at the moment. So I pulled that out quickly, whacked it in, put a gate valve on, run that down into the pump. That forces it up into the pump, around, down here, into the inlet. This is the outlet. What I've got to do is come up here, down around, underneath the filter itself, and connect it to that ball valve at the bottom. Just put this on there. I know it says pump, but I'm going to put it as heater because I had a spare one when I got this, and I was meant to connect this to this, but I never did. I've just got the pump going into this system over here. I know ideally it should go in to here, so if this system shuts down, but because this whole system's going to be on its own isolation down to a point, only downside, the cable I'm going to tap into this plug, get the electrician out. I could probably do it myself, but I'd rather get him to do it. Brother-in-law, he ain't going to charge me anything. 10-minute job, get that wire hooked in. But one problem that I've got is this plug. So I'm really debating whether just to cut the end of this plug off. It has got a transformer here, or what they called again, a trip. Got a trip here, but what I'm thinking, I'm gonna cut the plug off just because you can't close anything. I've had to convert it back to UK fittings, so yeah, I'm thinking they're just going to cut the plug off, put a normal plug on it and whack it straight into there. I think that's the best bit. I know it will affect my warranty, but I don't want to be leaving it like that out in the elements. I ain't going to be touching none of this in here, so it's just literally cutting the plug off, and if it affects my warranty, it does. For 325 quid, I'd rather that be sealed up. But yeah, it's coming on nice and tidy. Everything's pinned against the wall nice, happy days. But I'm having a break because it's nice weather. Right, so I just popped up here because I know I need a few lengths, a few bits of pipe work. Nice and handy that is here, so loads of little bits to choose from. Reducers, don't need any of them. Loads of rubber boots, do I need any more rubbers? Don't think so. Always nice to have a little nose, see what's about. Got some of the kajakus in here that I like. If I'm not buying fish, I've got to get back. So, got me 2 lengths of pipe. Got a few more fittings here. And yeah, let's get back. So in 3, 2, 1. Osh, we're back home. So let's get this pipe work all fitted. Right, so electrics are all being wired in, getting it done professionally, because I don't have a clue about electrics. I don't mind working with water, but I ain't working with electrics. Right then, I'm gonna have to get the Santex out because the old pipe work scratched up the wall a little bit. But I'm not completely hooked up, so what I decided to do, I disconnected the plug, I took the plug off, and what I've done, I wanted this to go straight into this socket here, but because of the bracket on it there, or the transformer should I say, or the breaker, I'll get it right in a minute, basically this here stops it from closing. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to get a joiner between there and there, and then run this cable down to meet that, and then I can turn it on and off. I know it will affect my warranty, and I could have just left this open. My electrician said it would have been fine having it down like this. It's all undercover, but I want to make sure it's sealed up. So I've just ordered a bit to go onto there, but all of the pipe work really straightforward. I had to come through here, and I wanted to make it still be able to access my walkway down the side. So what I did, I put a 90 on the bend there, I knocked it in along the back of the wall, then I ran it across here up against the pipe. You can see I put some brackets on there as well. That runs down through into there, into the heat pump. Lovely jubbly, happy days. Really happy with this heat pump. And like I said, anyone wants to check out the link, 5% off of the price as well, so you get an absolute bargain. And this pump, I've actually got the system up and running, so there's no leaks anywhere, everything's running, and the pump I'm mega impressed with. This is on the link as well if you want to save yourself a discount. The only thing it hasn't got you the indication, the digital mark to tell you how many watts you're using, but it's got the speed running up through here. But in comparison to sound, this pump is super quiet. I'm well happy with it, and I will be upgrading the pump. I will be getting another one to go there and swapping this pump out, and I'll use it for another project, because the Evolution Aqua one, it makes like a humming noise. This one here, there's no sound coming from it whatsoever. I'm well impressed with that pump, and I think it's an absolute bargain at 167 quid. And if you use my discount code, you can get 5% off on top of that as well. So any of the offers that's on the UK Koi Supplies page as well, I've got a unique page where you can click my link and you can get 5% off anything from their website. So yeah, that being said, I've got a few other products to show you, because I actually bought a couple things myself as well. So I want to show you these things in a minute. What do we have here then, Mr. Whisperer? So I've heard massive things about this, and I thought I've got to get in amongst it and try it myself. So it's got the filter start for anyone struggling with water qualities, new ponds, and if you're heavy feeding, it's always good to top up with a bit of the filter start. But this is what I was mainly interested about, the lactobacteria, something that's, you know, is talked about a hell of a lot on the YouTube pages, the koi forums and everything, and I was super keen to test it out. And I mean, this is a 5 litre tub, that's a 5 litre tub, and in comparison to other brands out there, I can't say how good this is yet, because I haven't personally used it. But what I've heard about it, and everyone else that's used it, have had fantastic results. So this here you actually put into your filter itself, so you can put it into a bio unit, you can put it into a shower filter, and this here you actually put into your pond, and it's supposed to aid the beneficial bacteria as well. It's supposed to like work together, combined, use both at the same time, and then you get absolutely amazing results out of your water quality and general fish health. This is the main thing that I was interested in. But on UK Koi Supplies this week, they've actually got it on offer for 109 quid, and if you use the discount code as well, like I did, because I used the discount code, you get another 5% off of that. So I'm going to get some in every single one of my ponds and try it out, and obviously I'll report back to you in a couple of weeks time to let you know how I'll be getting on with it, if you know what I mean, because I can't give you a review on it yet, because I can't really say if it's improved the water quality or the general health of the fish. And to be fair, in my main pond I've got a few fish that's had a few marks on them after, you know, the start of the season where I had parasite problems. And just to get the water back as good as what it always used to be, I've been trying loads of different things, and I've got, like, on this guy right here, he's got a few little marks on him where he banged himself, and I've been told that the stuff the lactobacteria is supposed to be an absolutely amazing product to help, like, give the koi, help their immune system and everything. So I'm really keen to check it out. I'm going to give it a blast, and if I don't try it, I don't know. And I thought for the money, it's definitely worth a shout, because in comparison with other brands, I mean, that's 5 litres there, and that's 5 litres in there as well. I mean, it does say to give it a good shake up before you use it. Yeah, I'm just really keen to check it out and give it a blast. But to be fair as well, that's across the board on the website. Anything that's on offer, any item, filter, pond equipment, koi bowl, koi net, koi sock, whatever you want on UK Koi Supplies, use my code and you get 5% off. So it's definitely worth checking out. If there's anything you need, just check it out. Use the code. I will leave the what's it called? The code itself right there. Can you see it? That's the code you got to use to get your 5% off. That being said, that's enough yibbity yabbada. I'm going to get some of this in the pond and see what it's all about. But the main reason why I went for it, it includes enzymes, minerals, probiotics, lactic acids, yeast, trace elements, vitamins, and blah 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 blah. It just sounds like it's good, and it's all the things I was looking for. I know there's a lot of yibbity yabbada. If I hold it dead still, take yourself a screenshot and have a read yourself, because I ain't reading all of that twice when I've just read it to myself. But basically, it's 500 mils per 10,000 litres, so this stuff will last absolutely ages for the value of the money. In effect, 50 quid. That's a hell of a lot of filter bacteria kickstarter, and it's a hell of a lot of lactobacteria as well. So that there is going to do me for a little while, and I'll be able to give you a good test on it. Right, so I'm just mixing up my lactobacteria. It does say to use lukewarm water, so I've just boiled the kettle and it's been sat there for about an hour, and it's, you know, I think it's a decent temperature, 24, 28 degrees. That's what it tells me to use, so that's what I'm using. I'm propped up next to the Erin here as well. You guys haven't seen this one yet, have you? But I recently bought one of these. 8 quid off of Amazon. Bargain. Mrs. Whisperer wanted it. Basically, what it says for me to use 500 ml per 10,000 litres. So, also tells me to switch off the UV for 24 hours. Give it a good shake up.
So as you can see, Wyatt's gone to get his grips. I've opened it. Got your grips?
Fair dues. I didn't know if that had to be snapped. You just pulled it off. You're supposed to snap the seal. He-Man. I know this stuff's not for human consumption. I don't know whether to put it in my pond or not. It does stink a bit. What have I got there? I'm going to do a 500 ml batch and put half into each pond. It stinks, man. It stinks, it's generally good.
See, the lid goes back on fine. You're welcome.
I've got my water there. I'm going to mix up that into there. And I think by heating it up, it sort of activates it. It just says leave that now for 5 minutes. While that's being left, I'll have a little look at this bacteria. Filter start bacteria contains many microorganisms that can be blah blah blah, just like any other beneficial bacteria. It does say 50 ml per 1,000 litres, not for human consumption, and give it a good shake. So I think with any filter start, you can't really overdose it.
What would you like me to do it?
Just want to crack the seal. There you are. Yeah, you didn't crack the seal, now I've cracked the seal. Look, I've got a wasp here now, the wasp must like it as well. Gosh. That stinks. That is humming. That smells disgusting, to be fair.
Describe the smell, love.
Like a slurry pit. Generally, if bacteria filter start smells, then it's generally good stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever used the Lacto Plus, and generally this is the best one out there, bottle form, that you can get. The best one I've ever found, and this smells, but that knocks socks off of what that is. Stinks, but If it stinks, that means the bacteria is alive. And if bacteria is alive, it stinks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put half of this bacteria into this filter and then half into my other one. Let this bubble around in here with the pumps turned off for 5 minutes. Spread it in over. And I'll put the other half in the other filter. The other half into here, it's a bit noisy in here, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to put these back away for storage because they're going to last me for ages. So this lactobacteria has been brewing up in here now for a little bit, and all it says to do is just spread it over your pond. It does look like it will make the pond go a bit milky, but apparently it's all good stuff. Whether the fish like it or not, he seems to like it. He's coming straight up for it. I'm putting half into this pond and I'm putting half into the other pond. I'll just mix it right there in the middle of that air and we'll see how we get on. Stink though, I don't know why it smells so bad. So I'm putting the other half in here and I'll report back to you in a couple of weeks to see if I notice any difference. I know people's going to say, how are you going to know if it works or not? Well, I'll know by the way my fish behave, because I can do a water test, I can check a water test out, but I like to see how the fish react to it, to see if there's any benefits from the fish at all. And it will take a couple of weeks for me to even realise, but it does look like, if you look over both ponds, it does put like a milky cloudy effect in the pond itself. All the koi seems to be looking fine with it. Yeah, we'll just take it from there and see how we get on. Got to wait for Amazon to turn up to get this heat pump fired up, but to be fair with you, it's pretty much plumbed in, up and running. Apart from just setting the digits to get it running, I think it's an absolute amazing buy. 325 quid, and if you use me discount code, you get 5% off that 325 quid as well. So yeah, you can't go wrong really. If you've got a small pond, it does say that it will cater for ponds up to 2,500 gallons. But I think myself personally, that if you use the heat pump like that, the air source heat pump like that, it will, you know, it won't give it a break. It will be constantly running. I think if you've got a pond of 1,500 gallon, that would probably be its maximum, because else you just as well go for a bigger model really. That's me being honest. It does say that it can cater for ponds up to 2,005, but I just think you just as well go for the bigger model really if you're going to go anything bigger than that. If you've got a small grow on pond, or you've got a small pond and you're just looking for a cheap heat pump, 325 quid is an absolute bargain. It has got an inverter thing on it as well, and it's got an anti-defrost thing on it as well. I'm not sure on everything. It's new to me. I've never really had a heat pump. So when it gets up and running, I'll report back to you how much electric it uses. Apparently when it's on, it only uses 500 watts of electric, but it produces 3 kilowatts of heat. So my electrician just told me that as well. Yeah, I got to wait for him to come back to wire me up the joiner. To be fair, I could probably wire up the joiner myself. I was a little bit concerned of wiring it to the main box. And the plug itself, you know, I'm not telling everyone to cut the plug off because it will affect your warranty if you do that, but I've took a chance. I don't want it left out. And yeah, that being said, I think it's an absolute bargain. You can see it sat down there, all nice, neat and tidy. And the pipe work, you have got to allow for your pipe work fittings when you do something like this. You can tee off of an existing pump to get it fit in place. You can do it however you choose, but it is a good little idea with the fittings that come with it. I'll just show you them now a minute. So those fittings that come with it, you can get a rubber boot to go straight on the end of them and go from inch to inch and a half, and then you're up and running into all of your normal pipe work. But I'm going to get the Sandtex out. You don't want to see me painting. I've got a few things to tidy up. Little patch down there I haven't got to. I can't get in there until I get a smaller brush. I'm going to get all that done now. You can see all the fish look super happy with that lacto acid going in, or lactobacteria going in, should I say. Yeah, I'll report back to you in a couple of weeks to let you know how I get on with it. But I've heard amazing things about the product. Apparently it's really, really good. And we'll see, really. We'll just see how it goes. I know there's loads of other brands out there, and I've used pretty much all of them. And if I don't try it myself, I don't know. If I don't see you in a week, I'll see you for a window. And on the next video, you'll see that heat pump up and running, and I'll show you the digits of, you know, how much electric it uses, how much yibbida yabbida, how much jibbida jabbida, and all that lot. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.